You want to know about me? Fine. Pull up a chair, but don't expect some bedtime story. Name's Pax. No last name. Not anymore. Had one once, back before the city chewed it up and spit it out somewhere in the gray spires. Born gutterside, conscripted early. Quantum Vista ran drafts for the Cloud Wars back then, the kind they didn't broadcast, the ones fought in blind zones where no corporate ledger would ever show a casualty count. I was 15 when they threw a rifle in my hands and wired a tactical implant into my skull. Didn't even know how to shave yet, but I knew how to ghost a sentry at 200 meters. Served under a Black Banner unit, Echo Division. No official existence. We were the kind of soldiers they use when they needed deniable results. They trained me to slip through systems, rewrite access permissions mid-battle, silence nodes before the alarms could even hiccup. I got very good at it. Too good. When the war ended, or more accurately, when the Corp Lords decided it wasn't profitable anymore, they cut us loose. Burned the records. No medals. No pensiones. No names. Just ghosts with broken hardware in our heads. I should have folded. Should have gone screaming into the gray waste like the others. But I didn't. I built something from the scrap they left behind. Learned to live between systems. Became a freelance operator, moving product, secrets, and people through the fractures in the city's reality. A whisper here, a backdoor there. To most folks, I'm a fixer. To the core, I'm a glitch they can't debug. See, they thought they could erase me when I stopped being useful. They forgot one thing. You don't delete a soldier like me. You just make him patient. I'm Pax, former Echo, current Nightmare. And this city's about to remember exactly why you don't let old ghosts roam free. Met Vara back in the Deep Verge. I was pulling freelance security gigs, babysitting gene hustlers who thought they were untouchable. She hit one of my clients, fast, surgical, like she could see the fight before it happened. I should have pulled my weapon. I didn't. Holstered it and watched. She spared me. Guess she saw what I saw. 2 broken weapons trying to survive a city that eats its own. Later, we found each other again. Made a deal. Built trust the old way. Scars first, loyalty after.
I was born in the Verde Stacks, outskirts of Rio, where the biotech runoff poisons the dirt and the only thing greener than the moss is the debt you're born into. Grew up among genome pirates and wet farmers, learned to bend organic servers before I could spell my own name. By 16, I was ghostwriting algal encryption for smugglers. By 18, EcoSynth had me under contract, rewiring my DNA with living keys, turning me into something that could talk to corrupted biosystems like they were cousins. I don't hack machines. I talk to them. Coax them. Rewire their instincts the way old gods rewired stars. Featherstone, Nortec, Third Life, they all built their fortresses on the back of life they didn't understand. I grew their firewalls before they even knew they were vulnerable. That's why stealing Featherstone's internal patrol shifts and genetic key access was child's play. It wasn't a break-in. It was a homecoming. And Rigg. I met that stubborn bastard when he tried to shoot me. SyntheCorp had tagged me as a rogue biosculptor. They sent Rigg to retrieve the asset, that was me. We tore up 3 city blocks dodging kill drones and half the Sector 7G guard net. In the end, he didn't bring me in. He bought me a drink. Told me he'd seen too many corpses already, didn't want to add another if he didn't have to. That's when I knew he was different. That's when I knew he was worth fighting with, not against.
Alright, pull up a crate and listen close. Not every day you get the whole damn story out of me. Name's Rigg Martez. Used to be Captain Martez, back when titles meant something. Back before the Corps got their hooks so deep into the world you couldn't sneeze without it showing up on 6 balance sheets. I was born in the outer bubbles, not exactly poverty, but not far from it. Synthetic farms, atmospheric domes, tight living where the only 2 ways out were mining contracts or military service. Guess which one I picked? I signed on with SimOps, Simulation Combat Divisions. I wasn't built for trench runs or meat grinder brawls. Nah, they needed pilots with fast hands and faster neural sync ratios. Plugging into virtual battle frames, giant mechanized bodies running linked feedback through a quantum nerve mesh. You think regular VR is bad? Try feeling the armor buckle, the hydraulics rupture, the heat of plasma scoring your synthetic skin. We lived those fights. Every death left scars you couldn't see. I fought for the United Pacific Conglomerate, a shiny name for a bunch of corp interests banded together to sell wars to the highest bidder. We weren't winning battles, we were showing off product lines for future buyers. Every city we liberated, every enemy we crushed, it was all another demo reel for executive boards. When the contract ended, they decommissioned my whole division like we were outdated software. Some of the pilots couldn't hack the disconnect. Full system crash. Went brain dead. Others got repurposed, nice word for mind wiped, and sold off as security drones. I went freelance before they could get their syringes in me. Synticorp found me dragging busted frame parts out of a no man's zone. They offered a deal, asset retrieval. Sometimes that's tech. Sometimes that's people. Sometimes it's memories embedded in corrupted gear. Doesn't matter. If it breathes, bleeds, or broadcasts, I can track it, fix it, or break it. Now, I'm a retriever. I get things the Corps say are lost. Or, more often, things they wish stayed buried. I'm not a hero. Heroes don't last long in Quantum Vista. I'm just a guy with a broken neural stack, a hard fist, and enough bad memories to build my own graveyard. And if you're on my list, run. Kaela? Yeah. I remember the first time I saw her like it happened 5 minutes ago. Fringe wards, stinking rain, collapsing concrete, and a half-dead drone farm burning itself down from a bad firmware hack. I was tracking a rogue AI node, freelance retrieval job. Low pay, high risk, the kind of work you take when you're trying not to think too hard about your life. Gunfire broke through the static. Precise, clean, angry. Not some wannabe punk spraying in the dark. No, this was someone who knew what every bullet cost. I found her pinned behind a ruptured scaffold, boxed in by 2 corrupted exosuits. She wasn't scared. Hell, she looked alive, eyes locked onto the wiring in her hand, piecing together a detonator from scrap like she was just fixing a toaster. She glanced up when she heard me. Didn't flinch. Didn't ask for help. Just gave me this lopsided, tired grin, like she already knew I'd back her play. I tossed her a spare mag. She nodded once, like it was a contract. 5 seconds later, the whole damn corridor blew, and we were sprinting through fire and smoke like it was a damn holoreel. Later, over drinks that neither of us could afford, I found out she was Kaela Vorn, Neurodyne's golden child. The neural engineer who burned her own lab down to stop them from weaponizing brainwave resonance. They called her rogue. I called her brave. We started working together after that, at first out of survival. She needed muscle who wasn't a drooling moron. I needed someone who could read the systems I kept smashing my way into. But it changed, without either of us saying it. She's more than smart, she's bright. You ever see someone who makes the room hum when they walk in? That's her. Wired into everything. Smarter than the core that tried to own her.
You want my story? All right. Kaela Vorn. Born Sector Verge, Neo-Tokyo Arcology 3. Slums stacked so high you could taste space dust when you coughed. Grew up skating courier gigs through tight pipes and stolen skyways, ran for gangs, ghost crews, whoever kept the credits flowing and the night warm. First corp to notice me was Neurodyne. I boosted one of their prototype tap nodes, tendril access processors, before I even knew what it was. They tracked me, caught me, figured if a gutter rat could steal from their black labs, she was better suited working for them than rotting in a biocell. They wired me up, reflex augments, kinesthetic learning patches, speedbot upgrades. Did that for too long. core use you up. Break you if you don't break yourself first. I met Rigg Martez the day it almost went sideways. Sector Theta 9, inside an old Synthi-Corp recycling plant turned black site. We were both hunting the same asset, a memory-seeded AI that could map strategic vulnerabilities in quantum netting. I was there on freelance commission. He was working Synthi-Corp salvage, deep under the radar. First time I saw him, I had my hand on the AI drive, and he had his gun aimed at my spine. We could have torn each other apart, and we almost did. But we heard the boots coming, a whole kill team, corporate black ops, heavy gear. No backup. No mercy. We covered each other's exits without thinking. Ran together. Hid together. Fought through 3 floors of collapsing infrastructure and glitch-hacked turrets before we finally made it topside. Now Rigg's my right hand when the job gets ugly. Maybe something more, if I ever stop outrunning myself long enough to see it.
Name's Jarek Lorne. Used to be somebody respectable once. Doctorate in genomorphology, 2nd-tier laureate in applied biosingularity, all the pretty words they hang around your neck when you spend your life bending flesh and code into new shape. Third Life Industries recruited me right out of the academy pipeline. Thought I hit the jackpot. Endless funding, cutting-edge labs, projects they didn't even bother classifying with names, just numbers and warning symbols. You don't ask questions in places like that. You just grow monsters, polish the data, and pretend you're still human when you look in the mirror. I specialized in recombinant bioware, hybridizing neural substrates with engineered tissues. We weren't building tools. We were birthing weapons that could think faster, heal faster, kill faster than any augmented soldier or drone. Seedcore vaults, ghost-clade strains. Projects, they said, were the future of human evolution. But you work on enough future and you start seeing the cracks. Saw the experiments they kept under blackout. Saw the kids they pulled off the streets to test latency field. Heard the way management talked about entire city sectors like they were compost piles. And when they asked me to tune a batch of live prototypes, to erase what little of them still screamed when they slept, that was the line. I burned my badge, killed my clearance, walked out carrying nothing but a stolen genome key and the clothes on my back. Since then? Freelance biotech engineer, ghost fixer. One-man pandemic, if you've got the credits and the right kind of desperation. I don't build miracles anymore. I build exits. For the ones nobody else saves.